Well, this week we are bowling on the shark pattern. It is 44 feet long. We are on Brunswick Anvil Lane synthetic surface with synthetic pin decks and approaches. Friction is very high on the scale of 1 to 10. It is a 9. It is not the Pro Anvil Lane, it is Anvil Lane. We're using Brunswick Absolute Control for the oil. It is the highest friction of the two oils that we use. Its tendency is to break down faster in the front and carry down the lane quicker. We strip 2 times before we oil with Brunswick Judge Lane Cleaner. We apply oil in 6 zones, 75 units in the heads, 12 units in the mid lane, 31 units in the first zone outside, 10 units in the last zone outside. What is the best line to play? Where will the players be bowling in the upcoming matches? What do you think, Mike?
Well, what you're going to see is you're going to see the players that have very low axis tilt, which by saying that, meaning the guys who come up the back of the ball, or even guys like Barnes who have a tendency to keep his hand on the side of the ball, but his axis tilt is very flat. They're going to be playing a direct line for the first probably 3, 4, maybe even 6 games of the block, and then they're going to move in. The guys who have a lot of axis tilt, a lot of axis rotation, high rev rates that many of the players out here on the tour have are going to be playing the inside zone. What that's going to cause is those two, the guys who are hooking it, the guys who are going to be playing in, are going to create a hold spot down the lane for the guys who throw it straight. And it's up to the guys who throw it straight to manipulate that hold down the lane to their advantage. If they can do it or can't do it is up to them and how they attack it. Like, if, for example, Mika this morning had been struggling just to make the cut, and then this morning he bowled really well because he figured out a combination of surface and layout to use that oil down the lane to his advantage as opposed to his disadvantage.
Very key in manipulating. We're definitely going to see a big cross-section in styles in our first matches here. Fans, if you're watching the bowlers practice as we switch back and forth, we have one pair that's playing very, very straight and one that's hooking it, so you can see the differences in the two.
That's exactly right.
What did it take to make match play this week?
Well, out of the TQR, it took almost a 220 average, 219.71. And we had a lot of spots coming out of the TQR this week. I believe it was 11 spots plus the high amateur. There was 12 players that made it out of the TQR this week because we got guys out here dropping like flies, basically.
I tell you.
So, and then, to make it out of the round of 32 was a 217 average, just about on the button. And to make it to the round of 16, which these guys are playing right here, is a 220.78 average. And yours truly was just under, just one step shy of that.
Just a notch under it. All right, action lines. After we check with Fred, the home office, and our good friends at Red Rock, we have the odds of players making the TV show this week. In your first position, Richie Allen is going off at 5-2. Steve Jaros, 7-5. Pete Weber, even money. Mika Koivinemi, 6-5, as well as Robert Smith at 6-5. Chris Barnes, Vegas has as the favorite, going to show at 4-5. Danny Wiseman, 8-5. Brian Himmler, 2-1. Brian Kretzer, 5-1. Bill O'Neill, 10-1. Michael Haugen, 15-1. Brent Angelo, 15-1. Sean Rash, 5-1. Chris Warren, 20-1. And Mike Edwards and Chad Kloss at 30-1. So Las Vegas and Fred have the top 5 favorites for the show as Barnes, Jaros, Weber, Mika, and Himmler. Me personally, I think we're looking at Barnes, Weber, Smith, Allen, and Jaros. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think my best picks, first of all, I like Steve Jaros. I like his style. I like his mentality. And I love the way that he bowls. He never beats himself. He's almost like a I'd say one shred shy of Walter Ray. He very rarely will beat himself. I like Steve to make the show. I like Bill O'Neill to make the show. I think Bill O'Neill's got something figured out today that he hasn't had figured out in a while. He withdrew from the tournament last week.
Twinge his back.
Yeah, I think as long as he can get through this block healthy, I think Bill's got something he's seeing something on the lanes that he really likes. And then, obviously Barnes and Pete, I think they're locks. And, the fifth spot is a lot of pins, a lot of messengers, and you're just going to see that they're really lively pin decks. The pins love to fall down here. So as long as the players are remotely close to the pocket, you're going to see a lot of strikes.
And Wes did not make the round robin this week.
And you're bowling a lot of games in a short period of time. You can mentally get yourself into a position where you're not looking for a way out, but when you're struggling, it's hard to stick your face right back in it and to really work hard to get to that number. Some weeks you just go, you know what?
Waiting for right now, Robert Smith. Pretty deep starting, I'd say. Yeah, pretty.
Not surprised Robert's deep, but I'm a little surprised he's that deep that early.
That's manipulate the lane condition and the oil pattern the way his rev rate can do. With his rev rate, he could use a dull ball and play the outer part of the lane. Even on this long pattern where everybody thinks there's so much hang, he could play right around the second arrow through the majority of practice. And some of the guys out here, they recognize that, and some guys are just field bowlers. They just look for what makes them comfortable and they go after it, and that's what makes them. They're the unconscious guys, the guys I call unconscious.
That same release now. Check this out.
Here's Robert Smith, six-time champ,
soft,
who hasn't won since February 15 of 2004, 54 events ago.
Standing in front of the ball return.
Way left. Huge loft. Pounds. Drops 9. And 10.
Welcome back, Bobby. Welcome back.
I didn't think she was going to...
Watch this. Modifies his approach, gives it 3 steps. How about some left, baby? Ah! I love that. I don't know who knocked that one down. She came from
The back door.
Slower.
Oh, there's some energy in this place right now. Pounds the wood. Pounds the pins. He is setting a tone early on in this one. Over Mr. Smith's hang time. But it's his revolutions that also really impress people. We'll talk about that here in a second. Here's Smith. Boom! They say the average revolution rate is about 400, right, Randy? And they say for Robert, it's like 600.
Yeah, he's in the 600s, and he can probably go past that as well. He can also throw a spare ball at almost 30 miles an hour. He's just physically, when it comes to bowling, just an incredible specimen. I mean, this guy can do things to a bowling ball that the rest of us only dream of. I mean, there's just things that he can do that the rest of us can't do.
How did the revolutions affect the pins when they hit them?
It slaps him silly. That's a lot of force going through the 1-3 pocket.
Push! Push! Oh!
Pushes all 10 down. Nice transitional energy. Thought he would be moved up to the 3 spot, but due to the low scores ahead of him, he actually jumped all the way up to the top seed. And now he's just moments away from having $25,000 put into his bank account. Looking for 5 straight strikes.
One more shot. Come on! Oh, swing.
What a shot.
Good shot. Good shot.
I mean, he's throwing pins everywhere. You talk about revolutions and power, that's what it does for you. Robert Smith with a spare here and a mark in the 10th frame will win his 7th career title.
Yes!
A mark there, good count. He's a winner.
He knew the math as well as we did.
Right? 6 pins? 6 pins? 6. Okay.
Let's listen.
Yes!
8's good enough.
Right.
Throwing one. Like his opposition, Smith gets 9. Nice loft, Brad. I'm not sure his back appreciates that, though.
Congratulations. Mention back. Thanks, buddy.